Definitely gonna cook it for longer. Definitely gonna cook it for longer. I'm getting closer to making my caramels. Caramel. Caramels. Caramels. The parallels of caramels. I'm a candy maker. Hi, welcome to my tiny tube. My name's Margie. Hey, Okampa. Jack all tirades. I just like having these little talks on how I feel about things. I have a lot of feelings. I have no earth in my chart. I have nothing to ground me to this earthly plane except for my rational thoughts. Me and Mom have just been chilling, enjoying each other's company. I cut her hair. It's super cute. Made a little video of it so I could show it to her. Hi, Lunatickle. I hear you back there in the mood. She don't do good with bright lights and stuff like that. Hi, Miss J. I was just showing you Mom got a haircut. I trimmed it. She's a lot happier. So, we're just hanging out. She's not up yet. I found a letter the other day. I don't think I'm gonna. It's not even a letter. I don't think I'm gonna read the whole thing. But Mom used to be a big letter writer. Hey Tanya, what's up? She used to write a lot. She's brilliant. But I didn't care. I didn't want to hear it. It wasn't important to me. It was all blah blah blah. I just want to go have fun and have a good time. Blah blah blah. Right? Well, when I turned 39 in 2013. She wrote me this. And I saw it was just another letter. I didn't get a real present again. And I threw it in a box. Well, yesterday I opened up this box. So far it's okay. We got a roof over our head. We're warm. Cool and warm at the same time. And Mom just started. She wrote this right at the time she started figuring out she was losing her cognitive function. You know you're losing it when you're losing it. You just kind of watch yourself. So I found this the other day. I'm just gonna read a few. It is my 39th birthday, and like she used to do things like we didn't have a lot of money, but she could go get to the store and buy a $2 pack of balloons and then blow up 16 balloons for my birthday. Like, there's significance in numbers. So 39 things I appreciate in Margie. the first thing is, maybe I'll save that one for last. I appreciate that she was with me when April passed away and that she was holding her so she knew she was loved and not alone. I appreciate that when she is driving and I am the passenger and I am stressed as a result of her driving mannerisms and I ask her to slow down, she does. I appreciate, love, and cherish my framed I love you a bushel and a peck a hug around the neck poster. I got that at Cracker Barrel. She used to say that all the time. Because she just says she appreciates me now. She doesn't get to articulate how and stuff. She just says blue and red a lot. I think she sees polarity is why. I appreciate working on projects with her even when she's real bossy. Because I know she usually knows what she's doing and she does listen to any suggestions I may have. We work well together. I appreciate that because a lot of mothers and daughters can't. I appreciate your many, many clever endeavors Like when the Easter, you were home before going into the service and you made a special effort to hide Easter dog treats for Arthur in the backyard so he could seek a treat. I appreciate the fact that when Sidere was sick at the vet's, you stood by his side and showed all your strength and love with him, just as you had shared with me when I had been weak. Thank you. He was in the hospital 3 days. They thought he was gonna die because the Orchid Man. So I'd rather have bugs than the Orchid Man come to my house. I appreciate that you have the ability to stand up for other people who aren't able or don't know that they have the power in themselves to do so. I'm just going to read the last. I'll read some more later. It's just a lot. Number 1, I appreciate seeing the twinkle in her eyes when she is happy. I gotta get a Kleenex. Here, I'll just use my shirt. I gotta wash my shirt anyway. So, that was really cool that how something that Mom gave to me 12 years ago, over 12 years ago, this is like the best solstice gift, to the new season. You gotta celebrate the new seasons even though they bring darkness. Not in Taos though. Shoot, we're not experiencing winter here in New Mexico where I live. But I believe experience is based on our frequency in conjunction to the place that we are. That's why I called today's talk Wherever I Go, There I Am. Well, I've been to a lot of places, and what I found is, like, people are going to treat me the same wherever I go because of who I am and who they are. Unless I come into an age, into a place, that's what towns are to me. They're different ages. Look up how many different Salems there are in the United States. Why aren't they just the same time, the same town in different eras? It's the frequency of the town. Like Salem, Oregon, Salem. How many Salems are on the 40th parallel? Because a town is a frequency. A town has its own organic, energetic imprint. And then people put their astrology into that town and make some sort of recipe in how they're going to conduct themselves. Is how I look at things. But I look at things extra woo-wooly. I see things extra woo-wooly. Because I don't got no earth in my chart. Like I used to complain to my AA sponsor when I lived in Omaha. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? People call this a good life, Are you acting like you're all good people and then in the shadows y'all suck? Because one thing that would happen, like, often when I lived in Omaha is I would be running toward a door, like at a gas station, a convenience store, and someone would be walking up to the door and I want to catch the door with them. And I would say 8 times out of 10, people would completely ignore me. Like I'm a ghost and just let the door close in my face. They do it all, like whether I'm carrying something, not carrying something. So I am sure to go out of my way to wait to hold the door open for somebody. Because I'm not going to make somebody else feel like it feels like to be ignored. My whole life people have been ignoring me. And so what I do is I make it real hard for them. Like, you can ignore me, but can you ignore me if I'm going in your face? because I want to know an answer. Because my mom and dad were the worst. Mom would ignore me all the time. Dad would ignore me, and I'd just weird kid repeat, and finally I'd get yelled at for not having the thought process that would deliver to him my modified behavior. Like, I got yelled at. He yelled at me one time so bad because I was like, Dad. Like, I didn't think he could hear me. And he's like, wouldn't you think I said, I hear you. I'm ignoring you. I don't want to answer your question. And I'm just like, well, why wouldn't you just say that? You know, why do you... Like, humans are freaking weird. I'm not even convinced I'm all human. I think I'm half alien. I think the aliens are the blue bloods, the colonials, and that's my dad's blood. He's got the colonial blood. See, I got the white blood in him, but it always confused me because he's such a brown man. But blood and color they mislead you. So I stopped going by ethnicity a long time ago. And I never really recognized gender because I was always a girl. I knew I was born female. I have woman parts. I do things that woman bodies do. But in my mind, I don't, I do all the things that like dudes like doing. And then I started figuring out about energy. And, Mom had my first birth chart done when I was born. So the potential of potential has always been in my brain. Always. And I always put that together with the curious mind, and then I see a contrived reality. Because every class I'd sat in, every subject I had, it was like, because I moved around so much, they would teach a subject, and then I'd go to different school, and they'd teach the same subject different. And I knew then that knowledge was not congruent. It was based on where you were, where you lived. But people stay in one place. They're born and raised. They don't ever do nothing different because they find safety and comfort in doing the same thing over and over. Ask all the people up in the Pacific Northwest that, got all the creature comforts of living those best days for 40 years, and then lo and behold, like nothing they ever saw before, everything's gone because they just sat there in their laurels. They never work for the next good day, and that's largely what's wrong with society as a whole. You got too many people who want to sit on their freaking couch and play video games. You know what's more fun than video games? I think it'd be way more fun to be out in an excavator and freaking moving earth. And working with people. Like, I saw it like on my FYP this morning, and it's solstice today, right? So all these people go drive out from all parts unknown to gather at freaking Red Rocks, Colorado, where they gather to watch false idols for profits. And they gather, high five, welcome summer. Like, why don't you gather and go make a place for people that live on the streets so they can get out of not have to sleep behind a dumpster. And more people are freezing to death. Like, do that, but then sometimes go do stinky, nasty, dirty, gross shit to help other people. Sometimes. Like, people live 70 years. Take 2 years. Go live. You know what the military, I want to see what the military evolve into. I'm going to speak this into existence right now. I want the military. They say there's all this blah, blah, blah about, these military members getting a direct deposit for this much. It's all ritual, okay? It's all blood money. It's all do as we say, not what we do, because might is right, because we need Viagra. That's what it all is, ultimately. That's who is controlling the world. Men that can't control what happens within their own pants. And the rest of us just get to sit by and watch. Just get to sit by and hang out and watch the show. Leave my train of thought derailed. Come here and let me see you in the mood. He's fish fidgety. He's feeling the vibes, aren't you, Mr. Meow? You know, go behind me. You don't like being. Oh, you were in the window. You smell like outside. Oh, am I? How full of it am I? Tell me how full of it I am, James Perry. 3 blah blah blah. Am I so full of it? What am I full of? Saturated fats? What am I full of, James? Tell me with all of your infinite James wisdom. Tell me. Am I full of knowledge and knowing that America's a big fat liar like a lot of dudes named James I've known in my life? Because once you know one James, you know them all, because they're all, you know, the same James. Same version in different soul sacks. I'm so full of it. Let me go to your channel, James, and let's see what your infinite wisdom spewing is all over the places, James. If I had a square acre for every frickin' rat in a cage named James that was an avid biker sports fan, how many James got ESPN fan sports tickets, you know, so they could watch every game on Sunday and Monday? I call them unuseful idiots. It's like they used to have these 8-track, like these movie tracks that you put in. It was before VHS. Or like little animated little toys that you could put in a new track to get James to see something different. Take out that tape, James. Put in a tape of quantum physics. Put in some William Donahue, some Edgar Casey, some Dolores Cannon. Allison Coe hasn't done anything in a while. She must see all these spiritual gurus, they're good at stuff and sharing information and knowledge, and then they're like, oh shit, I can charge a lot of money for this, so they start doing it more private. You see like once one of them starts doing it, and then you slowly see, ooh, I can do it too. You see it all over. It started with Michael, the peace dealer. He deals in peace, which means he slings peace. And he freaking members only on YouTube. First they monetize. I would never monetize my stuff because knowledge should be freely given, and I got so much of it, I gotta freely give it to people. So because of the vastness of the experience of my real life, not TV, politics, religion. Now, people don't get that Washington, D.C. and Hollywood, they're the same budgets. And they both exist to get you to believe in a reality that ain't even true. Green Berets and freaking Navy SEALs. You ever had to deal with those people? I was an age in the Air Force. You know why pilots fly alone? Because they're a bunch of little prima donnas. They're a bunch of little bitches. They gotta have everything just right. That's not how the world works, y'all. And how do people, and it's all by who you're related to. Little boy wants to be a helicopter pilot in the Marines. Well, daddy will make it happen. But little boy's dyslexic. He can't read. That's all right. We can get a waiver. We can waiver that. There's a waiver for everything. You know? Because machismos make up things like the military, and then they make all these rules and regulations, and then they figure out who's going to follow them, and then they weed those people out. Because there's never any weapons of mass destruction. Just dudes that freaking, Viagra chompers named James that don't feel like men because they're men. They don't do manly things like help people. That's what men do. Like, I'm an able, capable person. I'm going to do what I can for myself and my community, too. In Taos, they just cut a bunch of funding for the fire department. People are like, oh, my gosh. They get plenty of money. But still, I've been speaking for the last 4 years on all the misappropriation of funds that the city council has been doing in Taos. $750,000 on a tennis court. $11.8 million on a blue bus maintenance transit facility. That everybody in Taos County could have got a reasonably priced used vehicle for that price and just, taken care of themselves and been self-sufficient. But the system says, no, we have all the money to take care of you how we see fit. See, that's how government works. Who's going to save all the Tourons that come up and get lost? Good thing there's no snow. So the fact that there's abnormally high temperatures in the world, it's breaking a lot of clocks, internal clocks for people. It's giving plants and vegetation a false sense of security. It's giving a lot of people a false sense of security. It's also keeping a lot of people alive because there's a lot of people that aren't freezing to death because temperatures. So does that mean, are we creating a less contrived reality or a more contrived reality? So are the powers that be taking time off for the holidays from their control frequencies and dialing it back because they're feeling the joy and peace and camaraderie for all? No, people that rule the world don't think in terms that way. So in the spring, me and Mom, we got one more move. We got one more move in us. And I'm pragmatically trying to figure out where that's going to be. Because I like to do things. When I lived in Omaha, I like to go to shows. I like to watch things. I used to like being around the crowd, but then the vibrational frequency of the crowd changes, and then that's less fun. So I don't need, but I like to because there's nothing in Taos. There's like a little like theater. That's it. There's like that the locals get together and do their versions of Old Town, and I've seen that too many times. I used to like to go to concerts and shows and stuff like that, and I don't like traffic, so I'm really trying to figure out what is a good place going to be for us. But it doesn't really matter to put much brain juice into it now, because come April, the world's going to be entirely different. So, and with all these energy potentials that we're getting blasted from the ethers, the no place space, that's how I see data and information. And then the blue and red, that's like in water, there's a lot of data held in water. How many people don't get data because they don't get access to just personal hygiene? There's so much more to personal hygiene than just keeping your body and flesh from rotting. It's a spiritual thing. Cleanliness is a spiritual thing. I'm excited to move to a place where I could have a place for everything, because I just feel, I'm at a point I have everything that I need. So wherever we go, we'll have everything we need. I'm just going to make candy, make stickers. There's this laser printer I'm looking at. It's a real nice one that I can make stickers. I can do anything I want with it. And I'll just use I'll just keep looking for ways that I can make things to help other people, and then give those things to the people to help them, just to show people how you can do stuff for free as long as your needs are met. Like, I have so many abilities, from my college background, my military background. Like, I just start my own school, like teach people how to cook and change and maintain their car, like maintain their mind, body, and spirit, a whole encompassing place where you learn how to work and participate for your own life. There's a lot of people that can't. Mom can't. I recognize that. Mom can't. There's a lot of things that mom can't do. There's still things that she can do, so I want to help her do those things as often as she wants. Because she's living her life too. So we might go out for a drive, take her out for a drive today when the sun gets up a little bit more, It's just, people are feeling so good because the weather's so nice. They're causing problems because they're driving they're accidents, like people just need to chill out and, go use those feelings that you have, the quickening, the excitement, don't try to go use that on something that's useful. I don't like holidays. I do like the season. I don't like holidays. I used to hate holidays, and I did a lot of work so they don't bother me anymore. I even like Christmas music now. I listen because it's the music. It's about what's in my heart, not how I constantly perceive things with my logical mind. It's a balance between my brain, gut, and heart congruence. And so when I worked at Creighton University in radiology, there's this one radio station. I wonder if it still exists, if they're still doing that. And they used to adopt families. They'd play Christmas music from Thanksgiving until Christmas, and then they would adopt families, and then they'd have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 family member, and then they'd have 150, but they have all these families. But then if you go out in the community, how many people really got the benefit of that stuff? We did one time, and there was years and years we went without basic anything because society didn't look at us like a demographic that needed anything worth anything. So we just fell through the cracks, and I learned how to be happy and content with going without. Well, one year, Mom was so sad because we didn't have nothing. We didn't have nothing, and she prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, and it was one of those things where we came home one night and there is a live Christmas tree on the front porch that someone left. And then we came home another time, and then we had 3 Christmas trees that year. We had Christmas trees in 3 different rooms. And then she won the raffle at Denny's for the family in need. So I know that it does get to, because we were the family in need. I just know that if you were to add up all the families that are in need and all the people that actually got them, the math don't add up. And then I start keeping track of numbers and stuff, and all these people, give us money so we can help people, right? I don't solicit funds on my channel. I don't need money. I got like I said, we got money is just a means that I can use to help other people happy by getting them things that they could use. And the demographic that I help isn't even recognized by society. Because I know that if you help people that are ignored or people don't see, because people don't want to feel bad, so they go through society going, I'm not going to look at anything that makes me feel bad. That don't help people that need help. That makes people taking exits on the spiritual bypass left and right. If you see somebody and how they live makes you feel bad, ask them if there's anything that you can do to make them feel better. Because they probably do feel bad. Because it's cold. There are people in places that it's still cold. There are still people living the storyline of I lost everything that needs to rebuild. There's no agency. That's what people are figuring out. Agencies exist. agency, any organization, any agencies, like any of them. The TSA, they made that. How many stupid cousins got jobs because of 911? Like, they would have been in fast food, but then we give them, a little blue outfit, and they got control issues. They just get to boss people around. I can't tell you how many times I've flown where I'm getting picked out of the crowd. Like, I'm the one, I'm the demographic, I'm the one. I was flying on orders to Alaska after 911 happened. When you're flying on orders, you leave the fucking person alone. That's what flying on orders means. That means you get this person to where they need to go. Right? Like that's what flying on orders means, right? No, they fucking jerk me around. They because there's nobody there of authority to them. They're the authority. Because when people have control issues, when they feel powerless within themselves, and they feel small and weak, and they feel like they should have a higher reading ability that they do, they feel bad about themselves, and then they get jobs where they're the authority, knowing that their kids don't respect them, their husbands, wives don't want to touch them, they're all ick, but they're the authority right here, right in front of me right now, so they're gonna make me bend to their will. And that's why America's going down the toilet. You got a bunch of control freaks, with inferiority complexes, ideas of grandiosity. They think they're big, important people, and they're just not. Nobody's really important on Earth. Everybody has special abilities. Hell, how many people don't even use them? I don't. I got the ability of telekinesis. I use it to show people that I got the ability of telekinesis, and maybe they should try it too, because maybe they got it too. What I have surmised is, what I have come to the conclusion is it doesn't matter where me and Mom live. We're going to be content within our own little structure, within our own selves, because Mom had a faith when she was a young girl, and she passed that faith down to me. And I don't see a whole lot of people out there in the, with their members only, taking all their important, okay, it started out with the Peace Dealer. And then now Lori Lothian, Steve Judd, what's that other dude? Started out on the Astrology Hub. Is he another Rick? It's just like, oh, just pay to see me because I'm so important. Pay to listen to what I have to say. I'm so important. I stopped paying for bullshit after, before, when WrestleMania 1 happened. I wanted to see that so bad. The first one, Hulk Hogan. Oh, man. As soon as I found out it was fake and all that, I just left it where it was. And now I'm 50 years old and I see TikToks about how 20-year-old girls are disappointed because they're finding out wrestling's fake. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Why didn't they tell you? You wasted how many years of time of your life that you'll never get back on bullshit? Go grow a garden. Go learn how to change a tire. Go mow a lawn for an old person, or trim back their trees so they don't. I saw that one time. That happened. Power went out in my neighborhood for hours because old man couldn't take care of his stuff, and the trees got all grown, and it shorted out the power lines. And it was during the weekend of College World Series, so the dude was on call, was fucking sitting there fucking mad because he had to get up and go do his job. Fucking College World Series. When I worked at Creighton, they'd be like, well, we gotta dial down the internet. We gotta lock down the hatches. We gotta not let the human traffickers use our network. Oh yeah? Why don't you use your network to find the human traffickers? Oh, because you benefit from it too. Omaha is one of the biggest human trafficking hubs in all the land. What people think frickin' Buffett boy got all of his money from stocks and bonds and little ticket tapes in New York City? Really? I mean, go like, what was it, that movie, the Boys Town? Like, it's all taking people. Like, why hasn't America ever created a system to support the nuclear family? You know what I mean? No, they take apart, like, parents do drugs and alcohol to because they get stuck in the loops, because that's what they use to make themselves feel better, because they couldn't pay their bills. But why don't they just give people enough money to pay their bills? Money's fake anyway, you know. I mean, 87 days, that's such a, out of 365, but they get paid 200K a year. My brother gets paid more than that, but it's just like people that have more than they could, it's because they want people to suffer. That's the bottom line. Is there are beings on this earth that want other beings to suffer, and it stimulates them, and it excites them, and it makes them happy, and to get excited from people suffering. It's like cats and a mouse. It's science. And then there's us that can't stand to watch things suffer, even if we don't like them, even if I don't like everything that they represent. You know, I'm not gonna let somebody be stranded just because they're a collective, you know, hodgepodge mirage of things that I don't agree with. You know, what I do agree with is people having basic needs met, and everybody having them. And I don't care what color their skin is. I don't care what, you know, what stupid cousin they're related to. I don't care about ethnicity. I don't care about none of that stuff. I care about what people do with who they are on a daily basis. And I don't go out so much because the world really isn't for me. When I do, this is my whole spiel. My whole shtick. You know what? This is a weird thing. Recently, it says straight people like rainbows too. And this is how I always did the rainbow. It's the color wheel. But back when I got out of the Air Force in 2006, and I was busy living my life. I go to the movies with people sometimes, but mostly I wouldn't go to stuff unless I had any interest in it. And I never had any interest in that Transformer stuff. I played with Matchbox cars when I was a little girl, and then when I worked at Rite Aid, Ian, you know, he was a grown-ass man that would get the Matchbox, you know, I found out they were collector's item. He would get the big box of the big huge shipment, and then he would sit there for hours and go through them all. And that was what management did. Like, I mean, my frame of reference is wild. But I left that when I was a child, right? I left playing with Matbot and making, you know, learning about how water flow and stuff, and all, like, you know, not putting your house below water, and, you know, I learned all that stuff when I was a child. And then I grew up to learn different facets of that. Look at it from, you know, an older person's eyes, right? But in society, I see so many people that stay in the mentality of their little kidness, and then they play grown up. But they're always, you know, playing with their little cars, even Ian, you know, and then they grow up and they're just like me, they put different facets on it. But they evolved from playing with cars into a dirt. And then they like have now all over the place, they're so annoying, they have car clubs where you can rent an expensive car and then drive all over New Mexico, or drive, you know, F1 cars out in the desert in Vegas. Like, you know, they say over here, you can't do this, you can't speed on this road, but if you pay enough money over here, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And that's what I'm trying to get the world to see, is that, dude, this 9-to-5 like patriarchy bullshit is exactly that. It's a story. Washington D.C. and Hollywood. We go to wars because Gen X people like me sat on their dad's boomer's lap and with their dad, Pappy, and sat around and watched movies like, and we have cartels because movies like The Godfather. But we go to wars because of movies like Bridge Over River Kwai. Like, it's their fucking bridge. We have no business to be any soil. There's VFW should not exist. There should never be a VFW in the United. We should never be. What we should do, like over here, I was an age mechanic, right? We maintain the flight line off at Air Force Base where the Doomsday plane lives. That was my mission, right? That was my role to play, little soldier doing this. So when we do fake boom diddy booms, we can look like we're important people. And I was a good actor. I won awards. I didn't win an Academy Award. I got a sticky brick, and I won. I almost won. I was maintenance group out of 1,800 airmen. I was maintenance group airman of the quarter. I missed the base. I would have been cool to be like, I was airman of the quarter off at Air Force Base. I didn't get that, though, because I'd be prestige, so no. I'm always runner-up. But still, you know, I get little trinkets, I get little awards, because I'm going to play a role. That's what everybody's doing. I stopped playing a role in 2016 is the last time I played a role. I don't get an award anymore. You people get awards every month for playing an award called pay stubs, direct deposit. And then at the end of the month, if you play a role right enough, then at the end of the year you get another little award. It's a tax return. These are all the little awards. I avoid all that stuff. I don't want to do none of that. I don't want to play there. I don't want any of my life worth energy to go towards a group organization of people that are going to waste it on stuff that I don't believe in. I want to see a government that like supports people in groups. Like, oh, look what this person's doing. Let's set them up so that they can keep doing it in a comfortable way. Because how about that be the social score? How about how about we put the Biff, the dude that's in charge of the United States of America, like social score wise, he'd be a 0 because perverts and pedos are 0s. And look at all the people that would be 0s that consider themselves, they'd be brought to 0. And they consider themselves very important people. I don't know where they get their ideology. I don't know where Biff got the idea that he's a hot dude. Like, these are all weird demonic attachments that people get. Ideas of grandeur. Because people shouldn't think that much of themselves when they do so little. That's weird. That's like a sickness. You want to talk about sickness? People believing in imaginary numbers while their constituents literally rot in the street, you know? What, they get a taste of the boom booms. And those boom booms, man, those bombsity booms that they drippity drop over there, and the idea of, oh, we took out lives, you know, because of what they did to 2 dill holes in the frickin' pretend military. We never should be on foreign land, ever. And when people are off duty and not doing their job that they do when they're only protecting America, then the military members need to get out of their chairs and go out in the community, and the engineers, go engineer in your cities and towns and streets. That's what the military should be. The military should be only supporting the United States of America, but you got all these egomaniacal machismos that wanted to do different breeds. So then they took over, and so they gave themselves bases in different countries because they wanted to be with different persuasions. So that's why we have joint forces and bases. That's why I got to go to Crete when we did Iraq. It's all joint forces. It wasn't America. It's joint forces. It was all of, you know, it's just more contrived stuff. Just tell them this, they'll believe anything. Like that old cereal. Give it to Mikey. He'll like it. He eats anything and everything. So, and then they still perpetuate it by, getting people to buy calendars and Merry Who this and Happy Ha La that and watch this movie to get stuck in this loop and buy them this, but you go to the mall and people are punching each other in the face. So, are we getting more coal? Is that what they're telling us? That we're going to go back to the natural resources and coal for everybody? Makes no difference to me. Anytime I see anything on a screen, it's just a story. I see stuff on TV, it's a story. I go out in the world, I go to the grocery store, it's just a story. Just a story that everybody at the grocery store is collectively agreeing to share on. I went to a grocery store yesterday. It was pretty cool. Got Mom some pimento. She used to like that. I'm trying to get her stuff that she used to like. That she's always liked, but she could never afford. That's what I'm trying to do. So, because it's her life too. She's 75 now. She ain't gonna live another 75 years. The world didn't do her a whole lot of favor while she was here. And so I gotta go ahead and make sure she's comfortable while she's here. That's another reason why people don't like me. Is because they only like taking care of themselves. Here, this is number 9. I just found this letter that Mom wrote to me. Of 39 ways, it was for my birthday, that she appreciated me. It's like a resume. Because if your mom, how many parents hate their kids? We got a good relationship because we worked past all of the hard stuff. And then I get to find this, and then it's just like, she was my best friend the whole time. I appreciate the strength of her personal determination to achieve what she sets out to achieve. Through blood, sweat, and tears, she will prevail. Her years in the Air Force, her college education, getting a good job, buying her own home, buying her own furnishings, buying her car, and the comfort and loving care she totally and consistently showers on Sita Ray, Tucker, and Artie too. So, I know that the whole world is out there trying to figure out who they are. I wish you luck. Because once you figure it out, it's pretty cool. I figured out who I am. And if anybody wants to know what I did to do that, the steps I took, I'd be glad to share them with you for fun and for free. Because money's fake, and when people are trying to freaking gather as much as they can, like squirrels gathering nuts in the winter, that just tells me that they're scared about something. And I ain't gonna listen to nobody that doesn't have a bigger faith, or at least the same size faith as I do. Because that's fake ass shit. That's what I got for now.